can take me as a self-motivated trainer in the YouTube. So I take a look into the internet and search over Windows tips and tricks, and every now and then I make some videos over certain features of Windows which I find intuitive or which are not listed in a particular in a particular place. So you can take a look into my channel and get a rough idea of about the software domain and how to work around about HTML, CSS, and the backend and the front-end technology stack. Now, as of now, at this point of recording, I would like to show you a special feature in HTML. So, at first, I will be opening up Visual Studio Code, and there I will be creating a table. Let me assure you that particular table won't be looking a great one, and it might not be a responsive one or something like that. But while developing this particular table, I will be showing you two features. One is autofill feature in Visual Studio Code, that how easily you can create a table in VS Studio Code, and after creating that particular table, I will be opening that in the Google Chrome, and there I will be restricting the user from copying that particular table and pasting it to somewhere else. So that's a 2 point which I like to highlight on this tutorial of HTML and CSS. So before me moving into Visual Studio Code, let me rephrase what goal we are going to achieve is that we are going to create a table and look at some of the basic CSS of a table, and look at how autofill feature of VS Studio Code, how easily you can create a table, and after that we will be restricting the user from copying that particular piece of HTML document. Within the body section, whatever HTML elements are there, we will be restricting the user from copying all those elements. Now I am assuming that you have Googled yourself, you have browsed yourself through the internet, through the YouTube, and have a basic understanding of HTML5 and know how it works. So in Visual Studio Code, I won't be talking about the plugins which I'm using. So you need to have the prettier plugin. So let me quickly move into Visual Studio Code and show what are the plugins that are required to build a HTML. What are the necessary tools that you need for HTML. So these are the extensions. You need prettier. You need this extension to be installed. Here it is, prettier code formatter. So if you're in a particular HTML or whatever JavaScript or whatever code you are writing, if that is not properly formatted, if you just select it and select this prettier option, it will be formatted accordingly. So there will be a nice indentation like here. And apart from that, there is another extension like live server. So what is live server? It's by Ritik De. It didn't come up. Okay, Yannick, not this Yannick one. It is by Ritik De. Live server. It's a popular one. Yeah, this one, Ritik De. So live server by Ritik De. This plugin enables you to make some changes to your Visual Studio Code, and the code will be reflected in your HTML browser whenever you are making some changes and saving that particular file. Apart from that, there is another extension which is also handy, and that one is known by the name of M8. So this one, M8, you can install this extension also. So I'll be moving into our topic, which I have told from the beginning of the video before starting of the recording. That we will be creating a new HTML. So I'll be naming it as table HTML. And as you all know that just by simply pressing an exclamatory mark, you can generate a boilerplate code. And there I will be now this is the section where you need to take a look. So I am saying that I will be creating one table, and it will be having TR, means table row. So the rows, there will be 5 rows, and in each of those rows it will be having 3 columns. So the first column will be name, the second column will be role maybe, and the third column may be location. So if I now press enter, voila, whole of the suggested table has been populated. Now you can just fill up the values. So you can say that name, and then for this section you will be saying that role, and then this will be location. So let me quickly fill up the values. So maybe Shutopa, and then maybe the role maybe 1, or and the location maybe coal, and then we will be having maybe Binoy, and maybe his ID 11, and he's from location maybe SLD Shialda, and there will be Alok, and his roll number may be 21, and he's from maybe HWH Howrah, and maybe there is Ajay maybe. So Ajay is having a roll number of 3, and he is from Pune maybe. Okay, fine. So let me save the file, and I'll be making and I'll be showing you what's the use of live server. So let me open with live server. Now let me make this screen a little smaller so that I'll be making a changes, and that changes will be reflected accordingly. Fine. So this one is the table. Fine. So I can easily make it a center align by simply going into the body tag and saying here it will be center. And let me cut this portion of text, Control X, and go to the end of the table and maybe paste there, Control V, then save the file. It didn't make any changes, so center, yeah, the table has been centered aligned. Now I will be declaring some styles. So styles means CSS style. So I will be saying that table will be having a border. So table will be having a border of maybe 5px, and it will be solid and then black. Let me save the file. So we have the border. Now let's go for the TR and the TD section. It will be also having border, and the border will be of maybe 2px, and it will be solid and maybe red. Let me save the file. So here how it looks. Now the text within that particular cells are not, I mean there are no gappings. So we'll be adding some gapping for, we'll be saying that padding, and maybe 10px. Let me save the file. So here are the paddings. Now I can make this table border a rounded one. So we can say that maybe border radius, yeah, border radius 50px. Fine. Now let me save the file. So the borders have changed. I mean it's a round, I mean corner edged border. Now this table might not look so much fancy, or it might not be responsive, or whatever you can call it off, but the thing is that you can copy this particular table, and that's the second thing which I am going to do. So if I copy this table, Control C, and then move to Notepad. So if I paste here, Control A, backspace to clear the earlier content, and Control V. So see, whatever content was there in the table, name, role, location, that portion can be copied from the HTML page. You can add some H1 also. So maybe within the there will be maybe a H1 maybe, and it will be saying that my table example. Let me save the file. My table example. Fine. And if I now copy this whole of this section, Control C to copy the file, and Control A, backspace, Control V. Let me make this little bigger. So my table example, that one is being also copied. Now how can we restrict the user from copying this particular piece of text? So we can simply say that body, within this body section, so within this body section we will be having this feature, this particular feature, which is this one, user selection. So we will be simply saying that within body we will be having user select, and we will be saying none. That's it. Your HTML page is not allowed to be copied anymore. So see that I am getting no option to copy my HTML page. So that's a small video tutorial on how you can restrict the user from copying your HTML page and using it on I mean using on for their own purpose to copy the data from the HTML page. So hope you find this some interesting, and you find this of some value to yourself. Apply it on your own, practice it, and see you on next one for some other video tutorials and some other tips and tricks of Windows. So that's it for this particular video session, and happy coding, guys. And if you like this particular video some importance to you, if you find it interesting, do throw some like, give some comment, which will basically boost my motivation to make up more of such videos in the near future and post it to my YouTube channel. Thank you all, guys, and happy coding. So where is this stopper from this recorder? Here it is. Let me stop the record.